All right, guys, so welcome to MONSTERFESTMANIA. You guys having a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good. All right. I am, as he said, Ivonna Cadaver, and I have a television series called Macabre Theater with, oddly enough, Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster from the Munsters. So I'm here with the cast members of the Addams family, and so that's fun for me. So Butch and I, we host independent horror films as well as the classics, and what's interesting about this is Lisa and Felix were probably two of the first guests on Macabre Theater on my show with Butch and I. And so it's fun. It's fun to be here. So how are you guys?
When was that? I don't remember.
We started Macabre Theater in 2002, and Felix was the first guest, and we did Where Are They Now for MTV.
That's right.
Yeah. So you
on? Oh yeah, I'm on.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
So you came to KDOC in Los Angeles in the studio, and we did that bit, and you were the first one ever on the show for Butch and I. You know,
It was fun.
yeah. And Butch said to me, he said, you know, not only was Felix in the Addams family, but you also did something on the Munsters.
Yes, I doubled him in one of the episodes of the Monster. I fell off the roof when he was in the middle of the night flying a kite on top of his house. I don't know what he was doing, but he was flying a kite, and he fell. The wind had knocked him off, and he landed on his father's arms. So it was me. When he was like, what, how old was he? 6 or 7?
Yeah,
8,
yeah, like 6 or 7. He
Yeah.
said, he says, you got to bring that up. He says, because nobody's going to know that.
Yeah, nobody knows about
He goes,
that.
nobody knows about that, and he goes, Felix is going to be surprised that you know that. So, yeah, I'm like, thank you, Butch, you know. So, all right, so I'm going to start with Lisa, and I'm going to go back and forth because we're just going to have some fun with it. Lisa, where were you born?
In the Marshall Islands.
I know.
South Pacific.
South Pacific. I know. I went to. Let's see. Let's get this on. Between the three of us, it might work. Yeah, look at modern technology. Amazing. All right. So you were born. Again, sorry.
In the Marshall Islands, a little atoll named Kwajalein in the South Pacific.
Well, that's awfully swanky. It's awfully nice.
That's not swanky. My father was in the Navy.
Yeah. Okay, well that makes sense. And so what brought you to Los Angeles?
Well, that's where, we lived. He was just stationed at Kwajalein for a while, so that's where I ended up being born. Yeah.
And so you were not only in the Addams family, but you were also cricket.
Oh, yeah, I've done lots of various things. Did a lot of other work as a child, and quit for a while and went back into it on my own when I grew up, and one of the things I did was a 5-year contract on As the World Turns.
Yeah. So, yeah, that which was amazing to me. I was like, 5 years, a long time. So when you played the character, you were 5 years old when you did Wednesday Addams.
No, I did the pilot at 5 and a half, and the series from when I was 6 till when I turned right after I was 8. Right, yeah. Right after I was 8.
And we were talking
64 to 66.
Yeah. And we were talking. Felix and you and I were talking, and Felix said, she was like a little sister to me. And you said she couldn't even read the scripts.
Well, not at first. I hadn't gone to first grade yet. Yeah, so I learned to memorize before I could read.
And I went, how does that work?
They just would feed me the line. They'd tell me who I was and what I said, and I'd remember it and give it back to them.
And Felix, you were saying, she was like a little sister to me or a cousin, and you guys were laughing the other night. So, you were how old when Lisa was 5 and a half?
Actually, I was, I think I was at 28 when I moved to California in 1962.
Yeah, from a village in Rome, outside of Rome.
No. I came from Italy. He didn't ask me where I was born, but it's okay. I want to tell him.
Good. I don't do that. I don't do that. I skipped over that purposely.
When I came from Italy in 1955,
Yeah.
I joined the circus Ringling Brothers
Yeah.
in 56.
Mm-hmm.
And I traveled for about 6-7 years, and then I moved to, we were playing at the sports arena in Los Angeles, California. And I decided I didn't want any more, I didn't want to travel anymore. I got to see a little city, big town, town, whatever. From north and south, east and west, and I got to go over the United States for free. So I decided to stay in Los Angeles, And I went to work for a company that did publicity for the circus when it came to Los Angeles. They gave me a job. And then a gentleman from MGM Studio came over. They were looking for little people to do stunt work. And one of the guys says, you know what? Why don't you go around MGM and he might be the right person. So at that time I didn't have a car. I just moved in there and I didn't know anyone. And a friend of mine had drove me to MGM Studio. And I was picked to do a stunt work for one of the little boy in the movie. It was called A Ticklish Affair with Gig Young and Shirley Jones, Kevin Jones, and Red Pottins. I got picked to do this stunt, and then next to that came the Addams Family. And I didn't even know it was Shirley Jones that I worked with in the first movie until we got to work together. Karen Jones, sorry. Yes,
Shirley Jones, yeah, you know about it. Yeah.
Anyway, that was my starting in the movie industry.
Yeah. It's amazing, and you might have said it, but did you went out for the role and didn't even know what it was?
I didn't know.
For the Addams Family.
For the Addams Family?
Yeah, for the Addams Family.
Oh no, that was fun, I went in, my agent sent me in one Friday evening down at Las Palmas, at the studio, where we filmed. I went in and there was these two guys talking to each other in one of the offices. I came in and said, they looked at each other and they said, well, that's it. I said, well, okay. So I said, come back Monday, you got the job. And I didn't know anything about it. So what I was supposed to be doing. So I arrived on Monday at like 8 o'clock in the morning at the studio, and they put the wig on me and a sunglass and derby, and there he goes. Doesn't it? Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Addams Family was a family. I mean, we were just like a family. Everybody got along with each other. We had a lot of fun. The only problem we had, only problem we had, Jackie Coogan used to screw up a lot of takes because he used to fall asleep. He used to fall asleep and snore. It was fun.
On the set in some chair in some corner or something.
I was going to ask you guys, what were some of the funniest memories? And you've got, tons of them, but that's got to be on the top of the list. Watching him fall asleep.
Felix has more than I do because I was so young.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I had a lot of fun watching her and constantly fighting with each other all the time. At school time.
Was it real fighting?
Well, they were
what I mean.
They were kids, arguing each other, whatever,
Yeah. I don't mean knocking each other out, but
No.
brotherly, sisterly love.
Yeah, he was a little jealous of me too because I was like the dolly. I was so tiny and like a little doll, and they treated me special. I was the youngest, of course. 6 years old. So yeah, he'd get pissed off sometimes.
And so we're talking about the cast and working with Carolyn Jones. I heard you talk about how your relationship with her was so wonderful, and she was like a bit of a mother to you.
Oh yeah, it was definitely like a second family. I spent more time in Carolyn's dressing room than probably anywhere else but the school room, and of course when I was on the set doing my lines and stuff. Yeah, she was a wonderful lady. Just wasn't she, Felix?
Yes, she was.
Her and John, everybody.
Yeah.
We were blessed with the actors and the cast and the crew. And it couldn't have been a better group of people in all ways.
Yeah. And your relationship with Carolyn, I heard you speaking so fondly.
I had no relation because she wasn't married. No. She wasn't going through a divorce, remember?
She was married to Aaron Spelling for a long time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she wasn't going through a divorce.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
To Aaron Spelling?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, they came out from Texas to Los Angeles together.
That's why we do these panels. We find these things out. And, it's interesting. You have this YouTube, Lisa has this YouTube video out that you guys have to see this, of you and Ted Cassidy Lurch, and you're teaching him how to dance.
Right, the whole family did. Everybody tried to teach him something because he had a date. Remember Felix?
Yes.
He had a date. He had a date, and so we're all teaching him, how to dance. And I tried to teach him the Watusi and also ballet. And Morticia tried to teach him, I think, the tango or Gomez, one of the two. So everybody was trying to teach him something, and he couldn't learn any dancing.
It's got like millions.
No rhythm.
Yeah, it's got like millions of hits, the YouTube video, but I said, I saw it and I said, well, did they edit this? Did they, do anything to edit this? Like falsely edit it.
I have no idea. I wouldn't know.
She's a good dancer. I'm like, you're a good dancer at 5.5 years old,
I think I was a little older than that by then, but yeah, it was like, I saw it and I went, who taught me how to do that? I barely remembered it. It was funny, and then when something told me it has like over 6 million hits, I went, oh my God, you're kidding me. Yeah, it's like the Addams Family has like a life of its own. It just keeps going.
I mean, yes, it's like, what, 35, 40 years ago? Or 64?
The 50th anniversary was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it is a heck of a follower. It's such a huge follower.
How do you guys feel about that? Because
And everybody grew up with me. I grew up with you as a Buck Roger. I grew up with you as a Twiggy. I mean, a cousin Ann. Everybody grew up with me. I haven't grown up yet.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, how do you guys feel about that? Because it's one of those shows, just like, and I bring up the Munsters because I worked with Butch for so many years, but it's one of those things, you have the Munsters, you have the Addams Family, and to this day, it's still on TV, and it was, you were in production for a couple of years, or what,
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. So you're in production for 2 years, and then
there was a lot more episodes per year back then than there are today.
36 or 39, I remember. 36,
there was 74 in all.
Well, for each season.
Oh, I don't remember
exact,
but I know there was in total. I've been told how many there are and stuff.
You were 5 years old, didn't you?
I don't remember a lot. You guys have to remind me.
Yes,
I started remembering
there were 39 episodes per year. So, but I came in at number 19, I think, or 18.
Yeah. I saw that, because so you guys don't have a lot of pictures together, and that's probably the reason.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, a lot of the publicity stills, were taken at different times.
Right. And so, how was, Marie Blake and then Uncle Fester? I mean, everybody was just fun. Wonderful.
Oh, everybody. You couldn't have had a nicer group of people, like I said. Yeah, they're funny, kind, loving. They really made sure, everybody, Felix, made sure that Kenny and I, who was Pugsley, were, always well taken care of, happy, and they paid attention to our needs and made sure the environment was good and friendly and fun for us.
Yeah, those were the good old years, man. Almost time, this good time is gone. You were well taken care of. And you don't see that anymore. Now everything. Oh yeah, we have to rush. Hurry up. Those days, nobody screamed at each other, nobody argued with you. There were a lot more kids in the 60s and 70s. But right now, they don't want anything to do with kids anymore.
Well, I disagree. I'm sorry. I think back then, I was one of the first children actors on television.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of kids on television back then. Now, there's a kid on almost every show or a couple.
Yeah, I've been talking about Disney. Disney is a bunch of kids. But I'm talking about movies and TVs. I used to do a lot of stunts for kids. Now they don't even call me anymore because no more,
No more of that.
no more kids. No dog, no animals, no kids.
Yeah.
But don't in the 60s there was. You don't agree with me?
I'm sorry.
So
a lot of
it's okay.
television compared to back then.
We agree to disagree. That's cool. It's cool. So, and I asked you some of the funniest. We talked about the dancing, and this is it's such a loaded question because there's probably so many fond memories that you have to count. But what are some of your most fond memories of the show, Felix?
Okay.
I know it's a hard question.
One day I was sitting waiting to to go on the camera, and they had my little director chair, a little tiny one, I was fully dressed. So the director called me up and said, Felix, you need to come over on the set. So I kind of walked about 20, 30 feet. I got there, on the way in there, I heard somebody says, there he goes Frankie Lane Toupee. So I went on and we did the scene, and then the director cut, and I said, I asked a question, he said, who was the person that said, there he goes Frankie Lane Toupee? It was Bob Hope. He came over, he was visiting. When he saw me walking, he thought I was a toupee from Frankie Lane. I don't know, you guys probably remember Frankie Lane, singer. So that was a joke that I remember. But the other fun part was what's his name? Jackie Coogan fall asleep and screw up a bunch of scenes.
Oh, there's so many different things going on. Now, so many. I have a different set of memories, of course, you know. But I remember Charles Addams really well and how sweet he was. And he draws sketches for birthdays and Christmas for the cast, and you know, because it came from originally the New Yorker.
You mean I missed all that? I didn't get to see Charles.
You didn't?
No, because I came in late.
Oh, see, I don't remember exactly how long or when he was around, but I remember him pretty well.
I have to be aware before, you know.
Yeah, because they made it special when he came around. He came around a couple of times, and were gifted, you know, the sketches like the Addams Family at Christmas that he'd individually drawn for all of us, or something like that. I still have one. And he fronted my birthday to Lisa with enthusiasm and affection for a memorable Wednesday. You know, the guy who created Wednesday, and Morticia, and the whole family for the New Yorker magazine was a cartoon strip. Yeah.
See, I think Cousin Ed was not from him. It was from David Libby.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought I remember looking through the Charles Addams books and seeing it was
never.
See, my memories, his memories better because I was so young.
No.
I know.
Yeah, David Libby, one of the producers.
Yeah, I remember David well.
Yeah, really nice person, nice guy. Yeah, he's the one who got the idea.
Well, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And you might have said it. What was the gap again? From when you came on episode 18?
I think it was 18 or 17 or 18, something like that. That's why I'm not, you know, that's why I'm not in a photo of the front, because I was late. It cost money to redo it, you know. So.
Lots of photos.
It was fun.
Yeah. And so what are some of the, I've seen over the years, some of the things like the reunions or like a Halloween, Addams Family Halloween. How does that work exactly? You guys have done lots of things for, No?
One in 1977, and it was really, really bad because we didn't have the same writers. The head writer, Nat Perrin, had originally come to Hollywood to write for the Marx Brothers. That's why the humor was so witty and intelligent. I think of the Munsters more slapstickish like the Three Stooges, and I think of the Addams Family more witty, intelligent humor like the Marx Brothers. Little did I know that our head writer and one of our producers was also came to Hollywood and wrote for the Marx Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, John Aston asked me one time, he goes, "Who told you that?" I said, "Nobody told me that." I said, "It just made sense to me." He goes, "God, that's your good." He says, "I didn't think anyone would have told you that, so you just got that on your own." I said, "Yeah, because I've been asked that question about the Addams Family and the Munsters." And that occurred to me, because you didn't know that Nat Perrin, who I remembered, our producers and our head writer, used to write for the Marx Brothers. I said, "I have no idea."
Yeah, you're right, yes. Yeah, they were good writers.
Oh, God.
Then,
Yeah, so the reunion, the TV.
The reunion was terrible.
Yeah, the reunion was awful.
Yeah.
The script, because the writing just wasn't there.
Right.
You know, no matter, the actors are all fabulous still, but no matter how good of actors you have, if you don't have, when it's comedy especially, if you don't have good, you know, structure and timing in the writing and something that's actually funny, then the good actors can make it funnier and make it their own,
But it wasn't only that, Lisa. It was like they had it in color, and then they videotaped. They didn't film it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really.
Right. But it was mostly the writing, I think, because you know we were supposed to go into color. Had it not been canceled, the next year we were going to be in color.
That's what that idea was. Come back in color, but it didn't happen.
And you can't duplicate that, really.
You can't duplicate the original.
Yeah.
Right?
Not without the same writer, no.
That's for sure.
Lisa, do you remember the house ever been? I remember the house almost black and white inside.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said it was pink.
I don't remember it.
No, I
As a
don't-
little girl,
yeah.
I would have remembered pink.
Yeah.
I never got to wear
pink. Yeah. I don't remember being pink. It was always
No, I
black
don't
and
know.
white.
Somebody said that to me once too, and I
Yeah.
said, "What?"
No, it wasn't on the internet. They were asking questions.
Well, it's people put anything they want on the internet. It doesn't mean it's true.
Oh, sure it does.
Sure it does.
Does anyone know who played the hand?
Ted Cassidy.
Why you spoiled it? You're right. You won the prize. Yeah, he was. I mean, who's got a hand about this big? You know, 90% was his hand, right? And then when he wasn't involved in the scene with us, with everybody.
There was no CGI back then.
So that wasn't Ted Cassidy.
Yeah.
It was.
No,
It was.
But when he was in the scene, it was
Our assistant director, Jack Vogel, because he had the second
Yeah.
largest hand, because there was no CGI. So if Lurch had to be in the scene with Thing,
Yeah.
obviously Ted couldn't do the hand
Right, right.
through the table, you know?
You can do two things at once, right? You gotta do one at a time, so.
Right.
You ran? Yes. No, that was Jack. I mean, yeah. He did a beautiful job, but he was terrific. Nice guy.
Everybody was terrific.
Yeah.
So what are you, so primarily, Felix, you go to these conventions, you stay busy, you know, it's a beloved TV show.
Well, I need to go around, you know, it drives me crazy if I stay home, you know. I got 3 cats and a dog, and I got a wife and a kid, and I have to go, you know. It keeps my energy up.
Yeah,
If
at
I
least,
don't do this, I stay home and you're probably a few months later you're gone.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm doing this, because I love to see my friends,
yeah.
and we have fun.
Yeah.
We have fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, because every time, you know, you're here, there, boom, boom, I think,
I
I just have some energy.
People, movie would never be made. I mean, we would never been able to be here today for the friend, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Lisa, same for you. Well, I want to know about cricket. You know, a little bit more about cricket. You played it for 5 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So tell me a little bit more about that character.
I don't know.
Well, tell me a little bit about her.
I mean,
She was a good girl. Sometimes she was a bad girl. Sometimes it was a soap opera.
And so, are you a good girl sometimes and a bad girl sometimes?
Well, I think everybody is.
Only joking.
Everybody is as they go through life. It was a hard job, though. You know, 40 pages of dialogue a night when your storyline was heavy. You know, from 7 in the morning till 7 in the evening. You know, they tape an hour show a day. Where primetime television, they tape an hour show in 2 to 3 weeks. You know, so it was really fast, hard work.
Yeah, that's what I've heard with the soap operas. And so obviously making that transition from the child actor into an adult, you did that well.
Well, nobody recognized me. You know, I wasn't immediately identifiable as Wednesday when I grew up. So only typecasting came in for kids who looked still like the kid, like Butch, let's say. He still looked sort of like Eddie Munster when he grew up.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it was me unless somebody told them, you know. So I didn't work for a long time, and then I went back into it my own when I, you know, was in my late teens. Stopped when I was about 10, acting altogether, and, you know, I did some things after the house selling, and then went back into it on my own when I grew up.
Yeah. And your mother was in the business.
Not really. I mean, she started and then she stopped, you know. She had done like Pasadena Playhouse and things like that, theater and stuff like that, but she never really pursued it. Once I started work, she had to take me to set all the time and things like that.
Right. And Felix, and you specifically knew what you wanted to do, right? We talked about that.
Well, it took a little while to get started.
Yeah, but you specifically said, I wanted to be in the circus, I wanted to...
No, I didn't have any idea. When I went
You
to
didn't?
California, I didn't know what I was going to do. I just went to work with, like I said, the company that did the publicity for the circus.
Yeah.
I had a job, and then all of a sudden I started in, you know, movie industry. It kept going a little bit better and better and better.
Obviously.
And, you know, I got to be pretty good. And I got to work with nice
say.
people. I mean, you know, Bob Rogers, I got to work with Charlton Heston, and, you know, Moses, and Planet Hips. I got to work on Bonanza episode. I've done a lot of things.
you did a lot of things.
Yeah, mostly I did a lot of stunt work for kids.
Yeah.
You were in Star Wars
Star Wars,
and all
Return
kinds
of
of
the
things.
Jedi,
Yeah. And
You don't always see him because he's got a costume on most of the time and
Wow.
plays a character.
It's like, you know, they asked me, was it hot in the costume? Well, if you don't like the heat, just stay out of the kitchen, you know. If you don't like the job, somebody else is going to take it, so what can you do? I mean, you know, you have to, it was fun.
Yeah.
Great. So, all right. Well, so we know what you're doing now, and you're traveling the country and doing conventions and other things. And when I was speaking about reunions, I'm glad that you went into that direction. But hasn't there been like Halloween campaigns? Like nothing really?
No.
Nothing.
But you gotta remember, there's not that many people left.
Yes.
Now it's just Kenny passed away
Oh,
actually a couple of
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
So it's Felix and I. And John is still alive and well, but he has a theater program that he developed and runs at Johns Hopkins, Master in Theater Arts.
Yeah.
You can get there now, which never used to exist before. Hopkins is basically a medical college, so that's his baby. And he's, in his mid-80s or something, right? About there, Felix. And so he's done a few conventions, but he doesn't anymore.
But everybody wants so
Oh,
bad,
yeah.
but they can get them, It's really hard to get in touch
Yeah,
with
he
the
doesn't
guy.
want to do it anymore, but
He loves what he
nobody
does.
tells a story like John Astin. Doesn't he tell this? He's
Yeah.
just like a master. Anytime he starts a story, to tell you a story, you just become more and more interested. And he's so funny, and he's the most interesting stories. He's like a master storyteller. He's just a wonderful guy,
That's what you
wonderful
said.
man.
You said, I wish he was here to tell some of these stories.
People, this audience would be howling and fascinated, really fascinated. He's amazing. He fascinates. Every time I hear a new story that I haven't heard, I'm fascinated listening to him. Yeah, he's something else.
So I want to get some questions from you guys. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so let's start with you in the back.
Yeah, who did the voice of Cousin Ed?
Well, everybody, I guess.
Everybody?
No, but 5 years ago, longer than 5 years ago, when I don't live in California anymore. When I lived in LA, I took a friend of mine to a church to get some food, whatever. I walked through the door and there's a big table with two ladies and a gentleman with a gray beard. And he looks at me and he said, Cousin Ed. I said, how do you know? He said, well, I did your voice. 30 years later, I met the guy, some guy that used to work in their sound department. I think what it was a speed up or whatever recording. I think Katterjohn did one. Katterjohn. Yeah, she did one time.
Really?
She did the voice, yes.
I never even knew that.
Yeah.
No idea.
What it was, like, you recorded something and I don't know, speed it up or whatever. Well, almost anybody could have done it. But I met the guy 30 years later, he says, I did your voice. And he looked at me and said, Cousin Ed, how do you know? I didn't know any guys. I met him. So that's the voice. And but Tweaky was done by Mel Blanc, one of the best. Yeah.
Absolutely the best.
Yes.
The best.
Who was it?
Mel Blanc.
He did
Yeah.
voice. We'll tell him what other voices he did.
Oh, he done
Bugs
Bugs
Bunny.
Bunny. He wasn't one of them. He did almost everything. No, his son is trying to do it, but I never heard him. But Mel was the best one. I only met the guy once. He came to Universal Studio. We had a picture taken together. And then about a month later, he had a terrible car accident. And every bone in his body was broken. And he passed away.
And so life goes.
All right, another question there in the front. And then we'll get to you in the back, but you in the front.
Yeah, Lisa, were you aware of the Charles Addams Family cartoons when you got the part?
Well, soon after I was, like I've already explained, I got to meet Charles Addams, and he drew special sketches for the cast, and yeah, got to know him and his wife, and of course they showed me his books, and it was explained to me that he was the New Yorker magazine, like I've said, yeah. But I'm not at 5.5 when I went in for the thing. No.
What did he think of the show?
Loved it. Loved it.
Great.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you in the back.
Yeah. This question's for Felix. Felix, you worked on a TV movie called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Yes, I did.
How was it? Any amusing anecdotes or interesting offbeat stories about working with that great cast, including Kim Darby and Jim Hutton on that set? No.
Kim Darby, she's a really nice, wonderful lady. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see her next week in Las Vegas at Star Trek convention. We really tend around and really, there was a house that they inherited from a mom and dad, whatever, and they moved in, and the caretaker of the house, he said, do not go near the fireplace. And they left the fireplace all blocked, locked it up. And she got really curious, and she wanted to go see what's going on with this fireplace. So her husband went to work, and she tried to go toward the fireplace to see what went on, because she was very curious. and it was the three little goblins, little creatures, and we came out and turned on, what I would say, we tried to drive her crazy.
Right, right.
We only worked at night. If we turned the light on, we'd disappear. So we tried to do a lot of crazy things to really make her go nuts.
Right.
So her husband come home and she said to him, you know what, I saw these old things. He couldn't believe it. You know, well, she's going nuts, right? So finally at the end of this, when we dragged her, she went and opened the fireplace and finally we dragged her down the stairway. And she went down the fireplace. That was the end of it. That was a very interesting, very scary. A lot of people tell me, oh, you scared the daylight out of me. I said, well, sorry.
Sorry.
And, you know,
Sorry.
it was fun.
We're supposed to do.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, there was, and we talked about this earlier and how ridiculous it was, but there was this crazy rumor, remember, about that your cousin was made of full hair, human hair, and it caught on fire. And you said if it...
No, the story was...
No?
No. When I started out in cousin, it started out with the real human hair.
Okay.
It was very, very heavy and very hot. I could only have the thing on me for about no more than 10 minutes. So they got this idea, said, well, this is very flammable. The way the people, the crew works, you know, when they smoke all the time. Let's say we were filming over here, and the coffee is over there. So they walk with a cigarette, they go get a cup of coffee. In the meantime, they were done, they throw the cigarette on the floor, and they step on it. And most of the time, they didn't miss it. So, and the rest says, can you imagine if Felix walked by? I was like a mop. I was like a mop in the floor.
Right.
And I'd probably be up in the smoke.
Right.
There was a
Flames.
story about,
Absolutely.
I never caught on fire, thank God.
That's what,
Yeah.
there was a story that you actually had.
Yeah, it
Caught on
could
fire.
have happened with the real hair.
Right.
Yeah.
They made a synthetic one, right?
Synthetic was very light, and I had a chance to wear it a lot longer. But the first one was terrible.
It would.
Yeah, it was terrible. Very, very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So
I never caught on fire. So.
No, you didn't. No, that we were laughing about that just because Felix said if I caught on fire, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I won't be here today.
Yeah. So yeah. And one thing you'd spoken about was, the pigtails, the braids, and how every other Wednesday Addams wears the braids the wrong way.
I don't remember Christina Ricci wearing the right way, but whenever I see a kid or a costume of Wednesday, the braid or girl with real braids, they're always behind the hair. Charles Addams drew. They were not originally braids. They were long, little spindly ponytails right in front of the ear. But I had so much hair that they were fluffy, so they started braiding them because it was too hard. At first they wrapped them with like fishing wire to get that look of the cartoon character that Charles Addams drew.
Right.
But it took too much time. I was too little. I couldn't stay in the chair that long, you know. So then they just started braiding them. So it really didn't even start as braids.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my hair was,
Long.
it wasn't that dark. It was in black and white. I had light brown hair, but it was, down to
Very long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down to my rear.
And but the braids were in the front, yeah.
Right in the front of the ear, not behind.
Yeah, because I've seen lots of. I saw this. I saw it on YouTube. It was. I think it was Jason versus Wednesday, and it's awesome. You guys have to see this. It's funny, and she hadn't seen it, and I showed it, and you guys got along in the end. Nobody won. So you got to see it. So I won't spoil it. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? Yes.
In the front.
We were just talking here that you played Cindy Brady.
Who?
No, Felix. You stood in for Cindy. Cindy Brady.
On the Brady Bunch?
On the Brady Bunch.
I didn't work on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, Cindy said that you did.
Who told you that?
Cindy. She said, is that Felix and his wife is Susie?
No, I didn't work in the Brady Bunch.
Oh, she said he stood in for
No, we were standing for some of the kids.
Yeah.
Standing is like when the actor has to go to school, they get ready to set up the shot, the scene. The usual person who stand on their spot so they can light up everything. And then when they get ready to film, they call the actor back. You can move over, go sit down, and then do the scene. We call standing. You're standing for the actor.
Okay.
But there were a couple of people that worked in a Brady Bunch, but I never did that. I was never on
I'll
camera.
have, when
Yeah,
I
no,
ever see her again, I'll have to bring it up.
Yeah, you better. No, I wasn't, there wasn't me yet. Oh, there's a guy in dark here, wants to ask a question.
Okay, well, why don't you take, is there a question for Lisa?
Both.
Okay. You have to go right. She's got to go to the.
No, go ahead, I'll answer.
All right, go ahead.
Are there any parts you guys went up for that you didn't get, that you're sorry you didn't get?
Oh yeah, a lot of things. I was up for, between me and one little girl, for the part of the youngest girl in The Sound of Music. I couldn't sing very well. And I was up for the part of the youngest girl and did screen tests for both of them. In Yours, Mine, and Ours with Lucille Ball and Henry Fonda. And things like that, quite a few things that had I gotten them, I probably would have kept acting longer. My mother probably would have had me keep acting longer instead of quitting. Like I said, I went back into it when I was older. I thank you guys a lot. I've got to run to the bathroom. You guys were great. Come see me at the table.
Okay, so let's. I didn't do this in the beginning, but you guys, could you please just give a very, very, loud applause and thank you to Felix, Silla,